with all of you. My name again is Ralph Kemosu, the National Chairman, African Democratic Congress, ADC. It's been a long journey. I believe some of you may have heard of me some years back, but even if not, I know that in 2023, when towards the last week of the election, when ADC, the African Democratic Congress, as a party decided that we were endorsing the Labour Party candidate for the 2023 presidential election. And we actually went out to do that. And 2 days after the election, I think the day after the election, when we had the major challenges and things were going wrong at the collection center, the Labour Party and the PDP decided to hold a world press conference. They invited all the other political parties to join that press conference to talk to the Nigerian people and ensure that the election process was discontinued or done right. They invited all the other political parties. The only party that featured with PDP and APC, if you all remember, was the ADC, the African Democratic Congress. So it's not, so I want to believe that it's not by accident that the leadership of COPDEM, when they decided, when they were deciding the party to look into, felt natural that it was going to be ADC. Because if something had happened to ADC and the leadership of ADC started thinking of any party to go to, it should have been naturally Labour Party and so on. So the philosophy or the thinking pattern of people who worked assiduously to ensure what happened in the last election, our thinking pattern, our way of doing things, I don't think we need anybody to tell us that they align. So again, with that, I want to say I've been involved in the Nigerian political system for many years. But what I have always stood for, I'll be clear. The ADC was founded 2005 and registered as a political party in 2006. When we were founded, we started as Alliance for Democratic Change, still ADC. The acronym was still ADC, Alliance for Democratic Change. And then as we moved on, when we wanted to get registered, INEC wouldn't register Alliance for Democratic Change because they said there was a party called Alliance for Democracy. Therefore, Alliance for Democratic Change will clash. So they didn't register us. We went in again to do some thinking. And in the process, the name ADC sounded right. Therefore, what can we do in getting a new name without changing the acronym ADC? In the process was deep reflection, everything. We thought, come, Nigeria cannot exist. Nigeria cannot play its role if they don't carry Africa in mind. Nigeria has more than 25, about 20% of the African population, the largest Black a country by population. And as a matter of fact, in the whole of West Africa, ECOWAS, the whole of ECOWAS as a country is not, the population is not up to the population of Nigeria. Therefore, anybody who is doing any form of planning, development planning, and so on, without thinking of the entire continent, will not get it right. Because look at Togo, look at the Republic of Benin, and so on. Their population is not even up to the population of one state in Nigeria. So we thought, for any policy in Nigeria, any well-thinking political party has to have the African continent in mind. So we set that. On that ideological plank, we said African Democratic Congress. And I can tell you, the year after it was registered, 2 congressmen in the United States reached out to me and said, do you know what you've done? That the party that we have created will turn out to be the biggest brand in Africa and in the world if we do it right. And that thing that happened in 2006.
Mr. Chairman, I will.
Hello? Hello?
Okay.
On that,
are you hearing me? Yeah, I can go ahead.
But I want to make that because I want to like what is of African Democratic Congress. Understand we want to have use this opportunity to have a deeper understanding of what it stands for, the philosophy and the vision of Nigeria.
For some reason, the phones. Hello.
Yeah, I think Mr. Jonathan, I think you had an issue with your audio. You can ask the question again, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yes, better.
Okay. I was saying along the line of your thoughts as you were explaining to us how this great party came to be, I would want you to further expatiate by helping our audience understand what is the vision of African Democratic Congress.
Yeah.
What is your philosophy and what is your vision for Nigeria's future?
Thank you. I'm just taking it one step at a time so that you get the full dose. So so we've had this idea and we're moving on with it. Now, the symbol of our party is in our handshake. And the handshake symbol, most of the time we say, the handshake symbol, as a matter of fact, represent everything about ADC. Handshake for love, handshake for friendship, handshake for respect, handshake for let's do business, let's do nation building, and so on. So in our handshake, everything about ADC and everything about the way to build a great country resides in our handshake. And having said that, ADC is one of the parties that we have designed to have the ADC DNA. And in ADC DNA, we say inclusion. The ADC DNA, inclusion. And that's why if you take time to look at everything about ADC, you will see that almost everybody, from the time we set up the party to now, everybody from the South-South, from the Southeast, from the North Central, from the Northwest, from the Southwest, are always represented in ADC. And in 2019, ADC went ahead to create what we call the 7th zone. And the 7th, because in Nigeria, you know, you have the 6 zones or 6 regions: north, northwest, north central, northeast, southeast, southwest, and south. We now created what we call the 7th zone. The 7th zone is the Nigerian diaspora, because we said this country cannot function effectively without the involvement of the diasporans. And I tell you something. Sometime last year, when one of the NGOs that's helping the IPAC, that's the Inter-Party Advisory Council, when they were conducting a workshop and they wanted to help the IPAC to refine its vision. As a matter of fact, the way ADC talked about the way we stood during the last constitutional, what they want to suggest as a constitutional amendment, the way we stood for diaspora voting, they were calling the ADC the diaspora party. So in our handshake and in what we call our DNA, we've been trying to coin a culture that will define our ideology. And in defining ideology, I mean, you know, we say our ideology is more of ecclesia, that's pragmatism. What can make the country and its people to become a robust country in terms of development, in terms of the welfare of the people, and in terms of our competitiveness as far as the world polity is concerned. But it's still a journey in progress. And when my first conversation with the COPDEM team, I said, we have not built a complete party. When you come in, you join us in the building process. But what do we want to do? We have a clear vision. We want all Nigerians to be involved in what we're doing. Therefore, our DNA, what is inside us in everything we do, is that inclusion. And what do we want to do? We want to build a country that Nigerians and the Black race is proud of, a country that will project Africa. Africa is the only country, only continent that is still yet to emerge in any form. Morocco is trying, but the core Black people of this continent are waiting for Nigeria to arise and shine. You know, our slogan is "Arise and Shine, Nigeria." Thank you very much. So it's still a job in progress, and if most people cannot say everything is well done until we have. I mean, we are working on the bridge as we are building it.
Okay, thank you very much. That's already given us substantial information about the journey so far. So the next question will be, how long you have been in this? You have also mentioned that still a party that's still under construction. Let me use that word. And to the next election, if you intend to play a very greater role in the next election, how fast can you accelerate? And what is your plan to accelerate the growth and the cost of the African democratic race? How fast can we achieve what the plan was?
Okay. Thank you again. And how fast, and you know, has to do with almost all of us here today. It's been a tortuous journey, and when we first founded the party, because we wanted to brand the party as a modern organization with integrity and everything, we had to go and drag Professor Pat Otomi to become the first presidential candidate that we had, because we are looking, if you can imagine the vibrancy of Pat Otomi in 2006 and 2007, and the same man today, you will know all of us, the leadership of ADC, we went to look for him and say, come, we want to see, I mean, you have these traits which we want Nigerians to see. And we want Nigerians to come out and say, this is the type of man we want for our president, and so on. We worked with him throughout the period of campaign, toiling. He was able to raise resources. Everybody in the party, we were bringing resources to add. We did that election. It didn't go very well. Even Pat himself said, Combo, building a small party to become a big party is tough. As at that time, it was. And then we all started saying we needed to build a collaboration, a mega party. But at times, it's easier said than done. And we've been in that construction process. In 2028, Obasanjo, former president, after taking studies of all the parties in Nigeria, invited ADC and said, come, we have a group called the Coalition for Nigerian Movement. And we have studied all the political parties and their values and so. And we decided to call you to say, we want that, they want to adopt ADC so that they can build a mega party. That's one. And number two, the idea then was to ensure that, that because they had seen that the country was going down with Buhari's presidency, and they thought under ADC, if they get all the Coalition for Nigerian Movement persons to participate in ADC, that we were going to begin then to cleanse Nigeria. So the Coalition for Nigerian Movement immediately adopted ADC, and so on. Obasanjo had a world press conference where he introduced ADC. Unfortunately, the other partners didn't play their role. And the coalition didn't produce the result we wanted. But we have stayed on with Obasanjo continue to advise us. And then we also continue in that pursuit to form grand coalitions. In 2022, we were the ones, 2021, we championed the formation of the grand coalition. As a matter of fact, at the point, Labour Party and Everybody Party said that it was going to be ADC as a party, and so on. And we started the process. But, you know, again, personal differences happened, and we didn't get through. But even at that, sorry,
right. Now
it wasn't Labour Congress. It was Nigerian Labour Congress. It wasn't the Labour Party. Nigerian Labour Congress adopted ADC then, and so on.
All right.
But
the specific things we want to know.
Yes.
You have the vision. The question now, assuming the Nigerians who want to do the process, the question was that on your agenda, what are the 3 line items, things you know that if done, you achieve that result that your former or that who failed to achieve, that will help you accelerate and get the result. What are the items you have on this can be what this is done to get the result required? That's the question.
And I didn't quite get your question because your mic. I mean, I'm not getting the question clear. But
yeah, sir, please can you bring down your camera a bit so that your full facial picture can show? I think it just showed half of your face.
You mean mine?
Yeah, much better now. Go ahead, sir.
Okay.
Chairman, if I repeat, I need to say You are the leader of the party. Let me make an example. If, for example, as the Nigerian president, they said, what is your first vision to make Nigerians united, to get Nigeria economy working, or this is, you have a term on your list that we want African Democratic Party to be a grand party that is in Nigeria. Irrespective of whether it is or not. The question is that if somebody asks you how and what you want to achieve, irrespective of whether the resources or the vision to achieve this overwhelming presence at the place of Nigeria and become a physical political party in Nigeria, what is the ingredients that ADC require now to that point? Hello, Kevin.
Yeah, please go ahead, sir.
Do we have chairman in the house?
Yes, he's here.
Okay,
Chairman,
I
sir,
don't know if he got my question.
Chairman, sir, you are muted, sir. Chairman, sir, you are muted, sir. If also you are muted, okay, go ahead.
Okay,
go ahead, sir.
ADC intends to host the ADC Global Summit. And then in that summit, we have reached out to some speakers, and you hear us. We are still building this bridge, but ecclesial, pragmatic solutions to Nigerian problem. That's what we stand for. And our handshake has become a tradition for us. It's handshake of love, handshake of friendship, handshake of warmth across Nigeria. And then our DNA is inclusion. We need to have all Nigerian people included in driving to build a new Nigeria of our dream. But look, I am not running for president. But each time I say, come, the platform is here. And these are the things we stand for. But most importantly, welfareism, you wish, capitalism, or whatever you call it, that we just want what will make our nation, Nigeria, to work. And together, all hands being on deck, we can frame our ideologies and the culture under which we operate. The culture of things in Nigeria, culture of leadership, culture of politics, etc., is so corrupted, and the environment is the political environment is complicated. Therefore, if some few individuals sit in the room and they say, "Oh, we've crafted something that will work," it will be misunderstood. But if yourself and myself and all of us now we say, "Come, we are aggregating." What others and we, our manifestos, everything, we put it on the table. Nothing is sacrosanct. Let us open it up and let us design something that will move our country forward. No restrictions. No.
All right.
And so on.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm very particular on this question because the 2027 is around the corner. And like we do say in Nigerian political balance, the party must have structure in order to be able to deliver on the vision. So for me, I think this question that must be answered, what is the vision or how to drive the goods? Apart from waiting for others to come in, is there any master plan on ground that these people are coming in will need to run and drive the growth of this party to reach every nook and cranny of Nigeria within possible short time? Is there any vision on ground that when people come to drive, or you are still expecting people to come and bring in their own ideas? So I want to understand that if you have a vision that people need to come in to one, that's all.
No, thank you, moderator. If it's the vision to get every hands on deck to drive for the future of the country, the vision is there. As I said, the culture of ADC, the way we do our things, and then and this culture will involve inclusion, transformational leadership, and our handshake, the values in our handshake, which is inviting everybody. As a matter of fact, we said that if things get well, we are going to be able to say handshake across Nigeria within the next 1 year. And by, let's say, by 12 o'clock, October 2025, we can say this is time for every Nigerian to stop, look around you, and shake hands. And it will happen across Nigerian nation. Handshake across Nigeria, handshake for peace, handshake for love, handshake for us to say, do away with the old things, do away with corruption. Let us move in the path that to become the lions of Africa. Let us roar and save the Black nation. And so on. So all of these things are there. But then when you get down to specific manifestos, and so on, I tell you, there's a redesign going on because more people are getting involved. A major coalition is now being formed, and by the grace of God, within the next couple of months, with COPDEM in, and the attraction, and the bridges we built before. I just told you that when in 2023, the PDP and Labour Party were having issues, it was only ADC that came out to say, yes, we are with you. Therefore, now they are having their own internal issues, contradictions of Nigerian politics. And we are all speaking. And what we're already cooking, COPDEM has become involved. Within the next couple of weeks, it will manifest. And you will see the biggest organization, not only that will contest the election, but will contest the election and stand firmly to claim the victory.
Thank you, sir. Now this question will be out from the ground of what has happened in the last general election, where the
Mr. Grace, could you move your earphone? I believe maybe could you move your earphone? Yeah, you can hear you. Right, sir.
All right. I said, coming from the background of what happened in African Democratic Congress in 2023 election, prior to the election, the crisis that emanated from the primary, how Chukwu emerged as the best candidate, and the accusations of bribery. And then that is to understand what I'm about to say. There's this crisis of party politics that has become transactional. And it keeps recurring in many places. The question will be, what is this plan to mitigate this transnational politics? Now they're talking about coalition. Some people are coming with their own philosophy and thinking of it. What is your plan to mitigate these transitional politicians and not to dilute the vision and the philosophy of the party.
Okay. Let me, in 2022, we had some major a major challenge during the National Convention. And all the parties involved, from Professor Mungalo to all others, they know none of them will look at any NWC leadership and say, of the party, and say, oh, you all caused any problem. At times, some of this problem happens with will arise from the candidates and so on. You know, there's this ugly culture of Nigerian politics. We can try hard to stop it, but you may not be able to stop it entirely. And what do I mean? In a culture where you see the leading parties, the people who are supposed to be the exemplars, spending $10,000 per delegate during an election, and so on. And there's nowhere, at a point, this starts to look as if this has become the culture of the people. So it will take such kind of effort that we are making now to ensure that that doesn't happen again, or to start to eradicate it. It's just like eradicating corruption in Nigeria. But the most important thing, if the leadership is right, I mean, people can lose the election and they complain. When the last election didn't go as it was supposed to go, ADC stood out to complain, even when most of the other parties were playing game and collecting big money. ADC stood out. So that will tell you about ADC. But at times, people will lose money. Sorry, people will lose election and then want to blame it on you know, I mean, accepting the outcome of the election becomes difficult for them. And
okay, you know, Mr. Chairman, this is what there's this underlying philosophy all over the world that society strives and fall on the altar of leadership. You can also see today, even in APC, the culture and what they have become is influenced by the philosophy of their best leader. Hence, the question is, knowing some of these challenges, do you have a vision of the leader of the party, irrespective of who else operates the airplanes, and leader of the party? Is there any program to ensure that it does not happen, or do we just say that, oh, it is a Nigerian culture, it's likely to be, or is anyone having experience before to stop?
Yeah. Okay. Let me tell you something. There's no organization that exists in isolation of its environment. And the environmental factor will always throw itself up. You know, the Nigerian ecosystem is polluted, it's complicated, it's fluid. It become the job of leadership. And when you say leadership, fine, you can say a leadership of a particular organization. But then when you have members of the organization from across Nigeria and so on, you know, it takes more than what you're doing within the organization to read the organization of the problem within the society. But having said that, what we are doing, part of the culture we are beginning to instill now, if you're a member of the political party, you will be a member. And number one is, if you're a member, pay your membership dues. Because if you pay that membership dues of 500 naira per month, 6,000 naira in a year, the party will become so robust. If we drive the kind of membership we are driving now, which we know is possible, we get 10 million Nigerians as members of the political party with 5,000 naira a month. You have almost more than 5 billion every month. An organization that is an organization when you don't allow people to come and hijack the party, and all of us are members, critical stakeholders, because of the small contributions we are making, you know that you are on the path of saving the organization. But it's been a challenge in Nigeria. Most members, you go to them to recruit, they say, other parties are coming here to give us money to register. We get money from PDP, you get money from APC, and then you come, you want us to join you, you won't give us contract, and you want us to spend money, and so on. Meanwhile, Nigerians can spend 5 million naira or 500,000 naira to be a member of ordinary social club. It's a job in progress. We will get there. But the important thing is, when you have the leadership in place, when the leadership is aware and they are navigating things appropriately, not being compromised themselves, setting the rules for the leaders, and so on. To me, leadership is do as I do, not as I say. You know, most of the time our people will want to give authority, give command. Do it this way, do it this way. But for me, as a leadership scholar, I say, it's do as I do. If I come to the company and I'm showing discipline, or you're not showing discipline, you are stealing the company's money, you are wasting time in the offices, you are sleeping on duty, and you're shouting on your subordinates, you're not working hard, then you're not leading. Do as I do. If I come to the office and I'm busy just the way you are, moderator, busy, up and doing the things that will make the company to progress, and I look around me, I say, come. If you see as I'm doing, if you do like that, our company, our organization will become number one.
Okay.
So we have our leadership institute in ADC. It's small. We have the leadership institute, and we are trying. We say it's role modeling. You model the role you want the people to play. In our institute, that's what we are doing. As small as we are, we are being impactful.
Okay, let me say that throughout history, every time there is a major change in society, the leadership of doing engineer such, biggest challenge they will always have is what we're discussing now. But I think having considered Nigeria and failures to actually have an impeccable that cannot be penetrated, would you consider change the leadership recruitment model so it will not be as the usual Nigerian way of things, whereby there are loopholes that allow people with ulterior motives to will you be open to considering new strategy for leadership recruitment in the party to ensure that is fortify against infiltration and transitional politicians?
You see, there are some restrictions. There are some restrictions when we are talking about a democracy. And for a democratic party, your doors are open. It's not. I mean, in a party, even I know when you set up COPDEM, the doors open. Don't be surprised, the people that will leave APC, people that will leave PDP, even the bad ones and the good ones will come in. And I tell people, on the day of the election, you won't say, oh, this man, you're a very corrupt man, you're APC. We don't want you to vote for our candidate. And so on. That's the stage where we are now. Some of these things will take time, but the important thing is that the mindset of the leaders are there in building transformational leadership values into the party. Transformational leadership can come with one, good sense of integrity, servant leadership, and the compassion, the courage to do good things, and so on. So the moment you have these values, it will take only a small time for the transformation and the change process to happen.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Going forward, one of our viewers have just asked a question. How confident are you that the independent National Electoral Commission will conduct a free and fair election in 2027?
Okay. I hope you had me correct. I said this time we are, now COPDEM are in, and we are working with COPDEM to ensure that different political parties, different organizations, the progressives in Nigeria, they all come into this, our ecosystem. And I said, this time we are not going to win and it's taken away. We understand the intricacies. Therefore, the appropriate structure, human and systemic, will be in place to ensure that the next president will be elected by the Nigerians. And that's why we've opened the door. We are not saying, oh, because you're this, you can't be part of it. But at the time, very soon, you will see the different persons coming into our system, and they will press Nigerians to say, the past is gone. We are now tuned into doing things the right way. And they will beg for forgiveness. For us, we say yes. I mean, I'm a Catholic, and in Catholic, there's something we do. When you go for confession, they say examination of conscience. You thoroughly examine your conscience and reflect over it, and then you now plead to God, I have sinned, and I don't intend to sin again. Please forgive me before you make your confessions. And therefore, we are holding everybody, the door is open. Whoever you are, you come in, but you have to look at Nigerian people to say, in this way and this way, we have done things wrongly. Now it's going to be a different ballgame. We want a great nation for our country. And that's the way we can have people who are strong enough to be gatekeepers that will ensure that the next president of the country will be somebody elected by the Nigerian people. Because they will be strong and formidable to ensure that nobody can do the kind of things that has happened before. And that's why the gate is open.
Okay, considering that part of the election was there appears to have been a bit of a decision in the crafting of the electoral guideline, and when people were told the result will be transmitted live, and eventually, when they couldn't achieve, maybe to fear the result they want, they termed it glitch when the area went offline. Considering that this is a legal conundrum for those who participated in the last election, what the efforts that is being made now by ADC in partnership with other opposition parties to push the National Assembly in amending the act, makes it mandatory that the result transmitted, effort is being made now. Make sure it becomes constitutionally mandatory for INEC to transmit results live through IREF, and that any result transmitted live on it cannot be admissible.
Okay, what happened the last election has taught a lot of people lessons. We actually had those most of those laws in place, IREF, etc. But it depends now on the new the electoral reviews going on. We did something late last year, and it's been entered. I know that the National Assembly are going to debate on it sometime this year. And we have also formed a lobby to make sure that all the things that will make the election clean are there. We know that the presidency may want to play some games, but at the same time, and that's why the collaboration has become necessary. Nigerians must stand up to own their country, and they must have the leadership that will say, no, we cannot accept this. So I wouldn't want to place blames on what happened before and so on, because I tell people that the collaboration that we did with Labour and so on will have resulted in Labour Party winning that election almost with having more votes than the two other candidates put together. It didn't happen. It didn't happen more because of human error, because of strategic faults and so on. And for somebody like me, I've been in the system for quite some time.
So, Chairman,
yes.
Forward, so everybody from you were able to see strategic human error. What in particular is that strategic human error made in 2023 by the opposition political parties?
We are beginning a new registration process, I tell you. And this registration process, for instance, we're going to have at the polling station level, you will have people who will have critical stakeholders who will police and ensure that whatever happened at any polling station is declared the way it is. And even, the diaspora people can help us, but we're already developing some apps to ensure that even before the election is hard, that it is clear to every Nigerian the way the election has gone. But most importantly, you have people standing at the different polling stations and following results from that's until it's announced. There were structural issues, there were planning issues, there were strategic faults. But as I said, we don't want to get into that. But the way we will win this election, I can assure you, with COPDEM leadership now deeply involved in what we're doing, they are part of the NWC, they're part of our NEC. And by the time all the coalition partners will come, they will be part of everything we're doing. We're going to structure very well. When you're well structured, you make it impossible. You make it completely impossible for any election to be manipulated. And when you're well structured, you have interested parties in every corner. Yeah, we have corruption in Nigeria. Whether, you have the security systems, and you show that you're interested within that security system. That within the security system, there are also people who you've said, come, we have not, don't read for us, but ensure that nothing unhealthy happens. Within the police, within the army, within the SSS, within the INEC itself, and so on. But you don't go and mobilize people, and you're not involved with critical stakeholders who will be deciding a lot of things when the people are not there. Because
all right.
So some of these critical stakeholders are parents, and they're also interested parties.
Would you consider this something for 2027 election if it's an idea to undercut this criminal element in our political environment? Would you consider having a mock election, maybe a month or so before, as a strategy to undercut where people vote simply by using their phone, and you can aggregate the outcome of the vote? Is there a possibility that Nigerians and the world see? Do you consider it a good strategy?
As far you know, we have some good polling organizations in Nigeria. The Peter side Atedo's polling system is good. Then Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala's organization that also does polling, they are good. We have some good quality polling organization, and they, except that at times when things go ugly, some of them don't want to bring out the results they have to challenge the system because of the nature of Nigeria. But I think Atedo continued to show the result of his polling. He didn't give any down, and so on. Having said that, the way we are mobilizing and the state of the nation now, I think 6 months to the election, it will be clear to Nigeria and the international community where the election is going. And it will now be the fault of the leaders if anything untoward happen in the final analysis.
Thank you. The next question I'll ask you will lead to a very important question related to what you just said. Now, in your introduction, you talked about the 7th zone, which is the diaspora community. They are not very involved. We rely on digital infrastructure to support them and also to even make the ease of joining the party, to make it easy and accessible, especially for young Nigerians who are yearning for change. What is your plan for digital infrastructure for ADC?
The digital infrastructure is for the parties already is being constructed. COPDEM and an organization called Digital Oxygen are helping us in building those infrastructures. And I think INEC in a way has also done some a good job in as far as infrastructures are concerned. However, the nature of our politicians, you know, at times I can tell you something because I've been involved for quite some time. The INEC as an institution, they've foreseen a lot of things, and they make provision for all of this. But the way the Nigerian politicians are acting and so on creates serious problem. So when you look at it, it has to do. It's more about our politicians, not even about the institution. The institutions are ready in terms of their equipment, in terms of the modern infrastructure. As a matter of fact, I think Nigeria.
I'm not asking about the INEC digital, but I'm asking ADC digital infrastructure.
Okay.
The community in your engagement, and also for making it ease of joining the ADC, for making it easy for young generation Nigerians to join easily and get accurately captured from wherever they are. That is the infrastructure which is part of ADC. You see.
Okay. There's what we call the digital transformation structure that we're putting in place now. And from the last meeting we held, we said, come, it's become imperative that people should be able to register online. There's something provided for that registration, but the entire website and digital infrastructure is under reconstruction. I believe that within the next 1 month, you will have something as modern as the American Democratic Party and Labour Party and other #1 political parties of the modern world. That's what the structure what we have in place by within the next 30, 60 days can compare and compete with anyone in the world. I can assure you, with multiple applications to do all kinds of things that members need to do, both learning.
Thank you. With reference to the abstract and the outcome of 2020, up till now, we can understand that the president of India have not been able to visit the House and some major other globe house, and then most often than not is in France, which appeared to have been the bodies behind trying to build his international reputation. Considering what Nigeria of the role the Obama administration played in 2015, and Nigeria also being a member of the global committee and heavily influenced by what happened in the global world, and possibly because of what he represents in Africa, there was global interest. Are we in any way aligned? Is ADC in any way aligned with any of these global powers that may give you some leverage in trying to resist any challenges that are from gain and or are you considering?
The ADC of today and the ADC of yesterday are no longer the same. And then the ADC of that you will have by October this year will be an organization that is well connected to that's to all the democracies in the world, and an organization that is deeply rooted in Nigeria and Africa, and an organization that everyone who is a Nigerian and who is a patriot will be very, very proud of. I can assure you of that. We are doing the best we can do. You know, within the party, you see a lot of people who are committed public servant with very generous servant leadership spirit. And I'm also happy that, you know, I mean, occasionally people say they want to join the party. You don't stop people from joining the party. But the COPDEM seem to have so much in common with the leadership of ADC. You see people who are completely dedicated to building a great Nigeria, spending their own resources, doing everything. They are not in government. I see the national chairman of COPDEM every day. That's almost always traveling all the way from Jos or Para to come to Abuja for meetings and so on. And why is he doing that? For the betterment of everybody at no cost. So when you labor with this type of people, you say, wow, we are building a great marriage for the future of our people.
Okay. In comparing this almost at the same length with in terms of visibility to Labour Party, and you can see what when it became a party of interest, and a lot of Bible personalities, including His Excellency to came into the party, then a lot of things happen. Considering that now that you are making effort and many people are coming reasonably with big names and all, is there any effort? How would you ensure that what has become of Labour of ADC when it becomes a big brand?
I tell people, and I can tell you now, that even after we are going to win the next election with the quality of people that are coming. And the important thing is do the things we can do to win that election. But molding the party, ADC, for the future of the country continues even after winning the election. Otherwise, a party can come together in different ways to win an election, and they find themselves in the kind of deluge of things that the APC and the PDP got into. So the task of building now, the idea is let's come together to rescue our country, but let's not lose the clear fact that building an institution that will last does not happen just because we came together to win an election. But winning this election is critical because we have to have a country for which we will design that great party that can compete with all other democracies in the world. That's what we're working on, and we can assure you we are doing the best we can do. But I can tell you, and I told Pam Jr. and Kevin and others, I said, come, the party building proper will begin after this election is won. Otherwise, we will miss it again. What we're building for now, it cannot be compared with the accident of emergence of Labour. Labour Party emerged almost within the week of the primaries. Within the last week of when parties are supposed to do their primaries, that's when the Labour Party emerged. But the primaries of ADC, the primary of this new party in building, the general election guideline will come out sometime May next year, almost a year plus to come, and we are building something. You can see it wouldn't be an accidental thing. Apart from that, ADC has been in the vanguard of of building coalitions. So they are different ball game. And I mean, yes, we're just beginning. This is the first time I'm having this interaction with you. But within the next couple of months, we're going to have congresses. We're going to have a national convention. A new leadership will emerge. And I want even people like you to show up to a contest to become the national chairman of ADC, so that you know all the things we're mentioning now, we're going to put them on board to ensure that we must get it right. For people like me, we will guide with experience.
Okay, sir. If I may we know who are on board of the board of ADC?
Who are, come again, who are?
The board of trustee of ADC, are they Nigerians we can put a face to?
You know, the tendency in Nigeria is that people get to know the persons who are in government, because we all are chasing contracts, we are chasing influences, and so. A lot of the times, some parties like ours, you don't get to know or to hear about most of them. But the chairman of the ADC BOT was a founding member of this party. His name is Dr. Mani Ahmad. He's currently the registrar of Cosmopolitan University in Nigeria. He's in Abuja. He's the registrar and part owner of that university. He's not been in government, but he's been doing excellently well in his chosen career. As I told you, when we started in 2006, we went out to pull in people like Patu Tommy. And there are people of that quality of mind who are still in ADC. Such persons don't hold up appointment, but they are there, and we've all been toiling to craft something that can drive this nation. It's been a major challenge. But for people who have kept the faith, irrespective of the wahala, you must raise your thumb up for them, because you can see that their desire has not been that of, oh, we want to join this bazaar of corruption or being in government by Nigeria, but they've concentrated in trying to build something that one day will fill the void, and this is the time for that void to be filled.
All right. Before the next question, I really want to appreciate the time you're giving us. I think we will not be taking much of your time, but let me still ask you one or few questions before we let you go, sir. I don't know how many hours we scheduled. I know you are very busy, but have you considered the idea of floating a shadow government as a strategic and unique plan to give ADC a mileage in Nigeria? Have you ever considered?
We have not done that, but everything is open. By, I think, on the 11th, we are having the ADC Global Summit. And when in the ADC Global Summit, what we want to do, we said, come, that's building, leading forward, that's the team, leading forward, building a country in Nigeria that will work for us, for all. And what do we intend to do with this summit? We're going to list the steps that any government that is truly transformational, any government that wants to lead this country well, these are things they are supposed to be doing. And since we've not taken the idea of building, creating an alternative government and so on, we decided to do our yearly or quarterly summit moving forward. And when we do that, we will raise up the issues that our governments are not doing or taking seriously.
That leads to the question. I don't know if we will, but I've picked some of the questions from our audience, but from what the last side gave, why has this not been a strong voice against corruption and bad governance in Nigeria, which I think would have also given you some visibility in Nigeria? Why have we let ADC laid back on that?
Why ADC
is various, yes, this corruption and governance center. How does it feel like ADC is laid back on various voice against corruption and governance in Nigeria, which if you are taking that route, we will gain more restricted. And why is ADC laid back on those?
No, ADC is not laid back, but the important thing is that the way the media functions, the way the media functions, is the voice of those who are in government that you hear most, and the voice of the people who are preaching the things that should be. Occasionally, the media don't give them a prominence of space. People, I mean, we've pointed greatly to the direction where things should go. But if it's not well carried, it's not the fault of ADC. We have this challenge in the country, and the important thing is that we've all become aware, and we're saying that we're going to get this thing right, and we're going to get it right.
All right, gentlemen, we have spent about 1 hour with you. I don't believe that those cases they have given you time. I'm going to let you go so you can go have your time with other people. Being chairman of a national party, you have a lot to do. So we want to take this opportunity to appreciate you, and then to ask you to use this opportunity to talk to those who are here and those who come at these videos. Tell Nigerians about what you have a free moment to talk to Nigerians. Thank you.
Okay. It's just like the people before me now say, are you thinking of a new Nigerian nation where things work? A country that will work for all of us. You're welcome to ADC. Look your neighbor in the face. I give them very warm handshake and say, you believe in the ADC DNA as something that will guide Nigeria to a more united force and becoming a great thing in the world affairs. Inclusion. Don't let the tribes to divide us. Let competence, our public spirited nature drive the transmission that we all seek for. And we'll build a country that, you don't need to have favors from people in government. You just need good governance. When you offer good governance, you touch the life of almost the entire population of the people. But when people get into government and they want to do favors, how many people? You can only give about 1,000 appointments. How many contracts? Maybe 50,000 contracts. It has not reached even 1% of the Nigerian population. But if you offer good governance, it's going to permeate every family. That's what we all desire. And that's what all of us, especially Nigerians in diaspora, should look on and tell our people about. And then we will also fight so that as soon as possible, the diasporans will gain the right to vote, as in most modern democracies. Because when they vote, they will not be inspired by what they will get, but they will be inspired by the kind of development they are seeing in the countries where they are and following that path. It will get us things are right. And when they're also doing that, they will have the confidence to come to their country to make investments. So join me and join ADC in designing this bridge to become solid and become a winning machine to deliver Nigeria and leverage Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sam. I appreciate your being here today. I think with this interaction, we'll be able to gain a lot of insight into what it represents and where it is, and the future of ADC. I want this opportunity to thank our audience for availing your time I think we shall be doing this in the days and months to be able to consolidate and know the direction and what we thank you for and coordinators, the tech team, Kevin, Ibrahim was and the rest. Thank you immensely for your and God bless you. Let's call it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate all of you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
God bless
sir.
you.